A real-time economy, in case you are serious about real change and sustainability. A national economy has three main components: a productive process with a government or management, and a territory or relevant environment. To talk about a market economy means that it is an economy where the government is not the main owner of most of the productive processes. The government has six main functions to perform. These are matters having to do with the identity, with the learning and adaptation process, with execution, coordination, and error detection. Also very important is the security and safety function, which includes defense. Here I show the learning and adaptation function connected to the future environment, which is always uncertain and changing. When all these functions are performed correctly, then individual freedoms are preserved and economic activity is left to private entrepreneurship. A national economy can be modeled by including the productive processes that it needs to work. Here are six of those productive processes: energy, infrastructure, extraction, transformation, commerce, and services of all types. Notice that these economic sectors have the same shape and structure as the whole economy of which they are a part of. This type of modeling saves a lot of explanations and work. Now I show the model with a big arrow on the left side entering the productive process with several types of inputs from the relevant environment. Call them the 5 M's: men, materials, machinery, methods and models, and money. You could include multiple services and make them 6. On the right, the arrow indicates the outputs of the productive process. These are products and services. Some services are produced by the government, but not the most important, I would say. I show the transportation and distribution sectors, also productive processes, and I show them here for lack of space in the graph. The coordination function has many different jobs to do. It includes everything related to contracts, agreements, calendars, agendas, production, timetables, accounting, regulations, all of them sources of stability. Banking is a typical coordination function as it channels resources from one sector to another or within sectors. This small green arrow on the left symbolizes the flow of money. In this case, it's flowing from the operation to pay for the inputs coming from the relevant environment. On the left of the productive process, please notice the flow of information going upwards to the error detection function. Citizens and government are both responsible to inform about all kinds of errors. The administration of justice, for instance, is one such obligation, and it uses this error detection channel. Beyond the outputs, on the far right, are the consumers. The model shows that part of the production of goods and services are used to pay for taxes. Some taxes are paid by corporations and some are paid by the consumers. Taxes pay for some of the government expenses that are not received by the government for paid services. Please notice now that some of the production is reinvested in the productive process to keep it working. This is shown by an orange arrow returning to the main process. It says 4 R's. In this case, reinvesting, reusing, restoring, and repairing. The arrow shows the recycling. This is also a recursive function. It appears everywhere. It connects waste coming from consumers and goes back to the relevant environment, sometimes to replenish it, not always. Here we show the negative or dark aspects of the economy, those that require measuring and quantifying because they are not very good. Included are the free riders, tax increases, all the informal economy, the lack of recycling, unemployment, and pollution coming from dirty energy. Here I add the external environment in this little green window, and we need this in order to quantify exports and imports. This graph adds a white circle to all the places that require some sort of measurement. The recursive nature of the model allows us to use it to show the structure of the economic sectors. And we use exactly the same language, the same graph. Here is an example. For instance, the energy sector with some of the different sources of energy, also mapped as productive processes. For instance, wind, solar, geothermal, and so on. I suggest we use the triple indices used by Stafford Beer in the Chilean CyberSyn project. The triple index system is all based on percentages. The top number is always 1. The rest of the measurements are decimals or percentages of 1. This allows all the economy to have a common or standardized thread. You can be looking at energy or medical services, and you know what is going on just by reading a single number. The key indices are potential, which is always 1, then capability and actuality. From these two you get productivity. Then there is latency, as you can see here, and the final key index is performance. Every productive sector, every operation, every process you want to can report its daily production in the index model, which is recursive, as I said. That number is sent to processing using the internet. The potential is the desirable quantity. The capability measures the production when everything goes well. The actuality is the actual current real figure, what happened in a particular frame of time. All the processes and inventories are connected in a flowchart according to how they are connected to each other. This illustrates the flowchart. Any person can then notice the bottlenecks or an excess capacity of a given production process. Real-time economy. No time to waste. The 2020 pandemic and the 2021 freezing weather demand that we start managing everything we do in a much better way, mostly by going to real-time governance and management. This applies to every government on earth, federal, state, local. We should not be relying on outdated economic statistical data when we can do real-time information. We also need to get many more people involved in public affairs. The real-time economic model allows everybody to be included, and their ideas fit the circular economy and allow people to reach consensus easier. Thank you for watching.